On this episode of the Layover Live, we're talking SEO metrics with Erin McNamara.
Whoa, stop. Great. Why are you using an old intro?
Oh, I thought we were repurposing content.
Yeah, not like that. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 67 of the Layover Live, where we bring you the top article from the Layover each week. I'm Jason Swick, VP of Digital Marketing, joined once again by Erin McNamara. Welcome, Erin.
Thanks, Jason.
Yes, being an SEO expert, I think it's good to bring you into this article of the week that we have, which comes from Marketingland, which talks about repurposing content. I think it's a really good article, especially for DMOs out there who are often time-starved, often wearing many hats, and often then put a lot of effort and time into developing those really special pieces of content. So I think something that's really underutilized for a lot of DMOs is taking that content or taking the good pieces of content that they've had historically and repurposing those in many different ways. So I'm going to turn that over to you now a little bit, talk about some of the benefits, but what are some of the benefits or ways that we can utilize repurposing content on a website and get some traction out of that?
So just like you said, the content's already good.
Okay.
So why should you feel like you just let those old pieces of really great content get buried?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times content will get really great traffic, but for a short period of time. Then that traffic goes away for various reasons, right? It might be seasonal content. It might be because it gets buried under a bunch of new posts, etc.
Yeah.
So we always tell clients, if you have that content that can be repurposed, we were talking earlier about annual events pages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of creating a new one each year. 2019 Arts and Cultural Festival, 2018 Arts and Cultural Festival, 2020 Arts and Cultural Festival. Reuse that same piece of content year after year at that same URL.
Yeah.
So the benefit is you're taking content you've already written, you're repurposing it and reposting it. You already put the energy into that article.
Yep.
So all you have to do is edit that post. There's some other benefits though, just besides saving yourself a little bit of time and reposting is it's a lot easier when you go into your CMS because you're not looking at thousands and thousands of articles with similar titles that you're creating a new one every year. You're going to go in there and run a search for a keyword and you're going to see 25 articles with a similar title.
Yep.
Reusing the same content piece, you go in, you run a search, you can find it much more easily. Another benefit is crawl budget.
Mm-hmm.
So if Google has to go through 5,000 URLs to find 500 pieces of good content, they're going to not spend as much time next
Very
time.
true.
They might not even get to that good content because they're spending so much time going through this old content on there. I have a client right now who used to, they've changed their mind after some enticing, but they used to post the same article every single month. So what to do in April, what to do in May, what to do in June, what to do in July. So each year they would go in and create a brand new article instead of just repurposing the old one and reusing it. So now that they've started doing that, it's not only saving them time, they already have that in their CMS, they can easily find it, and it's not using up all of Google's crawl budget, crawling all of these old pages.
Yeah, and Erin, those are all really good examples and practical uses that really marketers can use at any time to really get more traction and just work smarter, to be honest with you, right? Mm-hmm. You talked too about that crawl budget, which leads me to then talk about the SEO side of things, right? You being an SEO expert, I think it's a good thing to talk about, some tips maybe for, doing this as SEO friendly as possible. So what are some tips you could provide to make sure that this is done in an SEO friendly fashion, as most DMOs are getting most of their traffic from organic search? So talk a little bit about that maybe.
I would say number one is to leave years and numbers out of URLs. So instead of the top 200 things to do in April, 200 not really, but
yes.
55 blank 25 blank, leave that out of the URL. You can keep that in the title on the page, but leave it out of the URL so that when you reuse that page the next year, you leave it at that same URL.
Get all the juice from that URL.
Exactly. Things to do in April, things to do in March. There's no year, there's no number. Another thing would be if you have old pieces of content that you have decided, okay, I'm going to leave this content at this place for the next 5 years as we repurpose it every year. But I have these 3 other posts that we wrote about the same topic years ago. We're not going to use these anymore. Let's get them out of there. When you delete them or unpublish them, 301 redirect those to the newest piece of content, and then just keep reusing that new URL.
Yeah, great advice.
Yeah, and look in Google Analytics too. That's it's not really SEO, but it's look at the bounce rate on these pages. So if you're looking at 5 different articles and wondering which one should you repurpose and redirect the rest, does one have a higher bounce rate than another? Why are people bouncing? Does the post need photos, videos, audio? User-generated content is a great way to kind of keep people engaged with the page. Why are people leaving? And it might be as simple as we talked about having a year in the URL. You have 2015 in the URL, and somebody lands on that page, they're going to think the content's old and they're going to leave.
Yep, it's confusing.
So keeping years out of the URLs, keeping numbers out of the URLs, repurposing similar content and just updating it for the current year.
Yeah, all really good advice, Erin, and I think, again, something that's very, very underutilized by a lot of clients, but I think you gave some really good practical uses of things that we see all the time. I mean, working with hundreds of SEO clients at any given time, these are common things that you guys see each and every day. So going through that Google Analytics account, looking at historical value of a lot of those posts, where can I get some more traction? What needs to be updated? What can maybe be written in a different way? I know this article from Marketingland actually gives a really good example of how they just wrote another article very similar to that with a different voice and how they got different traction from that. So lots of really good advice there. So thanks for sharing all that information. And thank you for tuning in each and every week. We're happy to have you here. Please leave comments. Please subscribe to our channel if you like what's happening. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.